afraid. I'm sitting there like, man.
Okay, appreciate the convo. I'll hit you back, Jason.
Do it. I can't do it.
All right. You ready? Mm-hmm. Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Ask Mathis. I'm your host, Reggie Mathis, and rocking with me is my brother, Wildman Teddy T, a.k.a. Baron Theo Mound-builder.
Once again, we are at it.
Yeah, so for the 39th time, the war is over.
That's what they're saying. That's what you...
I mean, so what was that? We grew up in school. What was it? Chicken Little? The boy that cried wolf. Like, how many... different things, can we do and can we say, but, they have not released the MOU. However, for the first time, both sides, the U.S. and Iran, have indicated that there is a document, a memorandum of understanding that is signed. We can't see what it is. Maybe Friday when, well, it can't be signed.
Right.
Because Friday is the day it's supposed to be signed.
Right.
So I guess the language is drafted. Both parties have the same draft, but it's supposed to be signed by Vice President Vance on Friday. Because Trump is in Switzerland now.
Right.
And he's like, well, I'm gonna clear it. Yeah, because the G7 starts tomorrow, and he's talking to Macron, the president of France, and he was like, yeah, we're supposed to be having dinner in what, like a day and a half or something like that, which is Wednesday. So he's saying that, by Wednesday, but I can't stay another 48 hours to, to end the war? Does that make sense to you?
None of this stuff really makes sense since they just give it to us, and what can we do?
I think you're right about that.
What can we really do about it?
I think you're right about that, and unfortunately, being right about that makes it, so wrong about everything, and about this nation, because you can only rationalize it by saying Barack Obama got elected in 2008 and then again in 2012. Therefore, all bets is off. Who let the tortoise win the race? When you talk about the tortoise and the hare, the way they used to do it, the cartoons, it's different versions, but the cartoons, they have the rabbit, chilling, smoking weed, while the tortoise is just staying on the path and going or whatever, and Buddy done ran down and hung out and shot dice, and came out, and then look out, and then you see the tortoise just go by the window, so he, boom, jump out, get a huge lead, go back doing something else, and the tortoise just going along, and it's like, wow, they thought, the hare was just going to win the race. And then what happens? We end up being there. Obama lives rent-free in this man's head. And look what he ends up doing. Like, Step just pulled up. Trump administration ordered by judge to reinstall history exhibits related to slavery at national parks. Right? Then I sent Step, I don't know if you have it, I sent you Chappie James. That was one of the, folks that I studied in Black history, being in the Brain Bowls. Chappie James was the first 4-star general, and you talking about this man has been taken down off the walls, at the Pentagon, where he'd been prominently displayed, basically just saying right here, listen how dignified this brother is, man. Chappie James, like, this is the guy, I believe, that the Tuskegee Airmen, like the Blair Underwood character, the guy that was like, I'm already flying, but I'm here to teach y'all, and because they say we can't do it, and they just say I'm a unicorn Negro, right? But all us can't do it. But there's several examples. I sent that to you too, Step. I don't know if you have it, but several examples where the Navy was sued because they had no black officers in the Navy. So they got sued, and instead of the 16-week camp that you're supposed to have for like officers training and then to take the test, it gave the brothers 8 weeks. And usually it's 25% failure rate. 100% of the brothers passed in half the time. So they had to come down there and investigate like a cheating scandal. Not understanding that the brothers band together. And I know that firsthand because that's what we did in law school. When we came to UM, it wasn't like UM was really doing us a favor, because many of the black law students who came to UM, came on scholarship, right? When we came down here thinking like, oh, UM really wants to diversify the place and all this other stuff, whatever. What UM was doing was trying to fight Florida. Trying to fight FIU and FAMU from getting law schools. Trying to prevent FIU and FAMU from getting law schools, so they was admitting more black students into UM to keep them out. So once FIU and FAMU were allowed to become law schools, now you'll have like hardly any black students, down there at the time. And when we were on campus, we excelled at everything, every aspect, academically, socially, politically, the whole nine, every metric. And we still had folks who resented us just being there, right? So that part is never going to change, man. But, it's rare that you see someone like, Chappie James, man, who Pete Hegseth, man, couldn't, hold that man jock strap. Hear what this brother got to say. We're asked about his credentials.
Asking questions is just asked me sometimes is, did they give you your fourth star just because it's the bicentennial year coming up and they want to say we got blood? In one word, one question, this guy has wiped out all the blood and sweat and tears and preparation and effort that it took me to prepare myself, to sit on the square, to fight for wars, to go to the schools, to go to Yale University, and to study deep into the night, to hone my skills as a fighter. And to get out there over way in north and sky as much as less friendly and know the United and fight my way back home in the name of the foreign policy of my country. They don't give me. They don't give away stars in my service. You got to earn it. They don't really do that. So one of it.
179 combat missions. 179 combat missions, bruh. Like this, and you talking 1976, when he was given that commission. But I remember that being one of our, questions and answers in the Brain Bowl, the Black History Brain Bowl about, Chappie James being the first 4-star general.
Right.
Like folks like that are the ones that encourage the astronauts, people to go on and become astronauts and do that stuff. So why do they want to erase the few of us who excel on a high level so kids can see it, to be like, oh man, if I see that, I can be that. It's just easier when it's like somebody's already done it. I know it was easier for me to become a lawyer when I was in law school, and other lawyers started coming around, and you sizing yourself up. And it was a couple folks that came in. I'm like, he a lawyer? She a lawyer? I'm like, I just paying 1,000. I feel like I'm smarter than him.
Right.
I feel like I'm smarter than her. Man, okay, because it was like magic. You didn't know that. It's like it's going to be something that's going to be in the way for it not to happen. And for this dude, Pete Hegseth, not to even have, not to even have the qualifications
to say nobody can do anything.
For him to be the gatekeeper.
Who are you?
When the generals and the admirals and the higher ups and all the branches, like boom, here you go for this guy to come in and take folks out. Like, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that, bruh. That's sick to me.
I mean, but that's what the people voted for.
I don't think they voted for that. But I don't think Step, did you vote for that? Is that what you voted for? Because I didn't vote for him. I'm a Republican, but I did not vote for him. Step voted for him.
He did.
He voted for him. No, that's so you can ask Step. Is that what that? See, that's what I'm saying. He didn't vote for that.
With the package, though.
Well, if you had known all that stuff, if you had known all the stuff that would end up like we being where we are today, would you have changed your vote? And that's the optimal question. If he's like, nah. So there you go. He wouldn't have changed his vote. So gas being over $5 a gallon, so I don't know what benefit have we had in the last 2 years by having this man in office?
Everything I took away that was considered to be black. And anything that looked black. Like there's no benefit. Like
how many bodies, how many dead people we got because of ICE? How many folks just being disappeared off the streets? How many challenges to, the Supreme Court? How many challenges to the Constitution and our way of life, have been emboldened by what we got going on right now? And you just heard it firsthand. He's like, I wouldn't change my vote. So
not yet. I mean, you got to go through it. Like we always say.
We a year and a half. We're a year and a half through, bruh. When you talk about the falling of dynasties, like the Roman Empire, when they started having those gladiator stuff right here, bruh, to sit here in real time and watch a gladiator ring, you know what I mean?
Right there.
Right
at
there.
The White House.
Is where the emperor, for his 80th birthday, is sitting here cheering on.
That's it.
Is sitting here cheering on.
That's it.
Somebody just getting the shit out of him
and making money at the same time.
This man made
$4
billion off of the country. This man went to war in Iran that's cost us $80 billion, which would have been enough for Medicare, Medicaid, all the programs that they were like, no, we don't have the money for. Like, to go to a war, to end up resolving it at the status quo it was before we went into it.
That's it.
So that $80 billion could have done a whole lot of other stuff that we said, man, we don't have the money for that.
Yeah.
So we got our guests on the line,
and
Teddy.
It's a great segue. Hello, you there? Yeah, she's.
Hi.
Hey.
Hold on, one second.
All right, we see our lovely face in the car on rec.
Hey, what's going on?
Hold on.
Happy Monday.
Yes. Definitely happy Monday.
Just tuning in, so bring me up to date on what I'm missing, all the great conversations I know we're having trying to save the world.
Well, from our conversation the other week, I said you and Mathis would definitely have a great conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all do feel the same way. She's been in politics. She worked with Obama. She's worked with everybody for a long time. And she just really feels that, people like us, we have to be able to have some type of guidance with the youth to understand what's really going on. Like you say, all the things have been stripped. All these things, they've taken us back to the 1800s, And
in some respects, not all the way. Like we're not gonna say that the ball has not been advanced, because there aren't litmus tests, there aren't jelly bean counting, but there's gerrymandering. And so what do we do now? What do we do next, right? And so my thing is that, we don't owe the Democratic Party anything. And certainly in Florida, you don't get anything being a Democrat in the state of Florida, where there's a supermajority in our state house. And so if you're just going to be, if black people as a whole are just going to be on the no side, then they aren't going to do anything for us. That's just my take. But introduce your guest and let's have her, give us her take.
Go ahead. Tell us who you are and what you have going on. Go ahead.
Well, Hi, I'm Katrina Norris Carter, calling you from Birmingham, Alabama. I am the CEO and National Coordinator for Salute Selma. I actually coordinated the Selma to Montgomery March. I know you guys are familiar with that. It happens every year in March, where we go across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, where they had the billy clubs and the horses back.
Oh yeah, where John Lewis suffered permanent injury.
Absolutely.
In that Edmund Pettus bill. And the mayor is my chapter brother, Mayor Whitford. He's been on the Ask Mathis show. And my roommate from law school, Charles Brooks, is his brother Haikal Brooks. They're civil rights attorneys in Birmingham.
Absolutely. So I live in Birmingham, but I'm from Selma. So, I grew up in the home of the voting rights movement, and now I live in the home of Birmingham, the civil rights movement. So, all of my life I've just been surrounded by activists and advocates, and of course we try to move that forward. And unfortunately, I think you and I were talking about it, and you seem to be talking about it today. We have lost our young people. And I don't know if we have one person to blame for that. It's probably a myriad of things, but right now, we have to find a way to reach everybody. Us black women are the super voters in the country, so I keep telling everybody, we don't need to be organizing amongst ourselves. We got to take this thing back to the people. We got to get the churches somehow. These mega churches, instead of being Hollywood stars, we need them to get back out here into the streets where they were born and raised at, and touch those communities where a lot of their churches still are. Because, even here in Alabama, it's a church on every other corner, but the churches aren't reaching out to the people anymore. And
the church has been empty since COVID. Now you still got a few, like you said, TD Jakes Church, and that's still packed, and there are a few, like you say, the mega churches that, especially around election season, they get real packed because folks got to come in and show their face that never been to. This is like we used to go to church Mother's Day, Easter, and sometimes watch night. But now the politicians, it must be election season. I see 3-4 strangers in here I haven't seen before. I see a guy with
to ask for your vote. So we have to force these folks to be more accountable, and that's why a lot of people are losing hope, because they're like, hey, we see black senators, we got black folks, mayors, and we see black people in these positions, but our lives haven't changed. We're still 4 generations, and we're still in poverty, right? We're still in housing projects. Our uncles and cousins are still victims of mass incarceration, right? They're still in gangs, so they don't see what's in it for them.
Great point.
I think we may have failed this generation ourselves. So I'm kind of trying to look internally
we totally
and
did.
what I can do different.
We totally did. You know, to that point, the way we were discussing it, you know, I want to say recently, because we often discuss, you know, kids being apathetic about it. I say that our generation in particular, because we are, you know, parental age. Some folks in our group are now becoming grandparents even. But
That's right.
you know, being that, you know, we started our formal schooling in the 70s, where for the most part we went to integrated schools. Like we were dealing with that. We didn't have folks protesting. Like we didn't have, like, as we see it on we didn't have the folks protesting. Like we were, you know, seeing a white person as a classmate wasn't something that was, you know, it was common.
Ordinary.
It was right. It wasn't out of the ordinary.
We had a ride.
Right. We thought we and so our parents did not teach us the struggle that they went through. They just thought, because it was so bad, they just assumed we would internalize it and just know. But faith without works is dead. And you can see how easily those gains can be forgotten simply by not exercising those muscles. You're not exercising it because folks aren't out there burning crosses in your yard and doing this or whatever. So you go through like, hey, I done made it through. I got me a white girlfriend. I got me a white baby mama.
Right.
They love our music. They buying all this stuff. They want to be like us. They want to do this stuff right here. What you talking about? Racist? We're colorblind. We're in a colorblind society.
Anymore. They have
Right.
on Brooks Brothers suits.
Brooks Brothers suits.
They're not burning
Right.
crosses. That's right.
Exactly. So we totally like, our parents did not. They was like, oh, it's so tough for us. It's kind of like in Florida. We're dealing with the flip side of that. We're dealing with legislators who are saying, you know what, my kids, they didn't own any slaves. Why do they have to go to school and hear that? Why do they have to hear that? Slavery? Like, our governor...
Critical race theory. What is
Right.
it? Critical race theory?
Our governor said blacks benefited from slavery. Right? They don't even want to call it slavery anymore. They want to call it like refugee stat, like some
Indentured servitude.
indentured, like some weird stuff to make people feel good, because, you know, why do my kids feel good? Why should they feel bad? My kids are coming home, they're like, Daddy, you know, like, we're in this big house. You know, this athlete or this lawyer lives on our block. You know, they're out doing the same things that we're doing. But every February, we have to sit here and talk about how we did such bad things to them before. And some of the parents are like, they shouldn't know that. They shouldn't know the history. But what happens when you don't know your history? You bound to repeat it. And that's where we are right now.
Right.
Our people don't know our history. So it wasn't, you know, we knew the history. Like, we've watched Roots, and we had the Black history, and we went through, you know, our music changed, Public Enemy, Fight the Power, and we was doing all those things. But it did not translate, and we did not instill it in our kids. We were like, yeah, we bought that. And that's where we lost, in my opinion. That's where we lost, Ms. Carter.
And you gotta also take into account, they changed the way that they move. The revolution won't be televised. They're not coming with the horses. They're not coming with the billy clubs. They're not coming, you know, with the dogs. Now they're killing us with policies.
Right.
Now they're killing us with the power of the pen. These supermajority white state legislators, they have been moving towards all of this for decades, and we didn't see it coming. This stuff with Trump up, the Supreme Court that now is rolled. We didn't see it coming that they were stacking these courts with these MAGA racist judges who are now literally legislating us back to the 1900s. I mean, I think you guys were talking about that in November. I don't know if people realize it yet, but food stamps, you'll only be able, people with these SNAP benefits that have had them for years, you'll only be able to get food stamps for 3 months within a 3-year period. After 3 months, and I'm wondering, like, is that just 3 months? you know, 3 months out of 12 months, how do they figure out how that works? But within a 3-year period, you can't get food stamps for over 3 months. Section 8 is going to kick in this November as well, where women can't be on Section 8 for over 2 years. So
Wow.
for these mothers and families that have been getting Section 8
generationally, folks have been on Section 8 generationally.
Where are they going to live? I mean, where are these people going to go? Where are the young kids and older folks going to be able to get food from when they can only get public assistance for 3 months? You know, and all of these things are happening right under our noses, and we don't even know that's coming down the pipeline. We don't even understand when we're seeing, you know, we're being bombarded with so many things by this administration at one time. You know, by the time you can concentrate on one thing, you know, they done passed 2 war laws that's going to be detrimental.
Trying to tell you.
From your time of working with Obama to now, what are some of the changes that from then to now when you was working with Obama?
Case in point, I mean, first off, let's look at what Doge did its first week. They fired 300,000 federal workers. 80% of those were probably black women, single moms, right? Trump has, I can't think of the name of it, but you know, there was a law against discrimination in housing for HUD. He's taken that, he's undone that law. There is a law that you can't discriminate in federal buildings. They rolled back that law his first day through executive order. Literally right now, these folks have the right to tell us that we can't enter certain buildings. They haven't enforced it yet, but they have repealed that law where people can discriminate on the basis of race, religion, and gender. He passed gay marriage. Well, all of our black men who are so homophobic and talking about the gay thing, I told them, I said, Trump them aren't going to do anything to the gays. Those are their sons and their brothers and their uncles and their cousins. Now, they did go after the trans, and I think some of the trans stuff, honestly, even for black folks, might have been a little bit too much. I don't think the trans issue wasn't necessarily a black people issue. Somehow it got dropped in the Democratic Party's lap, but I don't think the average black person really give a care about trans folks one way or the other.
Well, no, I mean, as a
Medicare, Medicaid.
As a girl dad, I care because I don't want a person born a male to be competing against my daughter in boxing or track or, you know, any kind of contact sport, tennis or swimming or anything like that. But other than that, you know, go live your life.
Feel the same way that the Republicans feel about that.
Right.
That's the thing. They're controlling our narrative sometimes more than we're controlling our narrative.
There you go.
What I want you to pay attention to is they haven't done anything to gay marriage. They hadn't touched any of the rights of gay people.
Right.
Because the gay rights thing is a white man thing.
Right. Definitely.
The
log cabin Republicans.
Those are the people that are gaining all of those assistance and everything that goes with marriage by them two men being married. So they're not touching anything that's hurting white men. Most of the things that they're touching are things that are harming people of color and women.
Yeah, and so to that point, Ms. Carter, you know, I constantly advocate for us to withdraw from the Democrat Party, to withdraw from that party and make the people earn our votes so that they don't just come in and write us off. So it might be in certain situations, if we're doing it right, to support the Republican in the race that's going to promise to do, you know, what for the community, because these folks, we keep electing the same people. You know, like most of our folks, let's take Congress. Most of our legislators in Congress, in the House of Representatives, are in their 70s and 80s. They 70s and 80s. They're in a safe district, in a safe seat, and they get elected every 2 years, and they go back. And when they come home, there's not one piece of legislation that they pass. One. No, that's what I'm saying. Not one piece of legislation for us, except, you know, the naming of a post office or something like that after themselves. You're right, some ceremony.
But nothing that has any real teeth in it.
Yeah.
I agree up until this MAGA.
But that's not the MAGA. That's not the Republican Party. But
right. So for now, we can't do anything until we get Trump out of office. We can't do anything until this man and in this
midterm, you know, I'm encouraging a flip. You know, whether you get it on the House, because it doesn't look like they're going to get it on the Senate, running that racist that Nazi out of Maine. So look like Susan Collins she the real Teflon. You know, Susan Collins come out there like Lucy from Charlie Brown every year, every big vote. You know, whether it's confirmation of a cabinet member or whether it's one vote, she always comes in and you know, a week before, she's like, oh, I have to study that, and I don't like the way that sounded, you know, blah, 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 but end up coming like the FAMU tuba player at the end. At the end, you know the FAMU tuba player where everybody watching and they sitting there like, is he gonna come? Is he gonna come? Spin it, and then at the end, jump up and down and do the split. Susan Collins bring it home every time. She bring it home every time.
And I think they're on to her. As most of these white women, I always call them the gatekeepers of white supremacy.
Oh yeah, because they're the number one beneficiaries.
Absolutely. They're not trying. I tell my sisters when they don't get it, I said, white women don't want to work. Yeah, you guys don't get it. They're never going to vote for a woman for president because they're not trying to work that hard. As long as those credit cards are swiping and they still living in their gated communities and, you know, they're still at their country clubs and living the lifestyles that they're living, they're going to always be rooting. Now, they may be smiling in our faces, but they are always rooting for their men and their fathers and sons to continue this white supremacist agenda.
Absolutely.
But we can, you know, we can't right now get lost in the sauce with our usual bickering. We're going to have to do, one of the things that we should learn from them is no matter what, they are ride or die.
Yeah.
Now, they may differ on some of the nuances of the different issues, but at the end of the day, they're going to always vote together. And that's what we got to learn. It may not be perfect. We all ain't going to always agree 100%. Actual issue is, and right now, these midterms, we got to win. If we don't, I don't see us getting out of the hope that this administration is going to put our children and our children's children and our children's children in.
It's
These
going to be
policies that they're rolling back, it'll be 100 years before we gain ground again.
it's going to be
Literally.
it's going to be a social economic depression.
Absolutely.
A socio-economic depression simply because they are, undoing or attempting to undo the fabric, the gains made over the last 50 years.
Absolutely.
And
dismantling public schools. They're giving
the vouchers.
They give all those vouchers to these private, white, racist, charter school agendas that they got. These churches are complicit. I mean, they're running the gamut on us in every fashion of that I can think of, and we need to really, really be aware of what's going on. Did you guys remember a couple of months ago where they came in and said that teachers and nurses and social workers, those are now no longer considered professional.
Right.
Vocations. So all of the what do you call it now? That you get to retire the different jobs being teachers and principals. And even certain PhDs, they downgraded, saying that they're no longer professional occupations. So we're in a lot of trouble.
Oh man, so
we're in a whole lot of trouble.
Ms. Carter, we appreciate you. How can we follow you and just tell us like what do you do? Like you just assist people, you give seminars, like you help campaigns, like.
Well, right now, actually, I think the reason we spoke is my organization is partnering with COGIC, the Church of God in Christ. They're actually going to be in Alabama for their inaugural men's Momentum Conference. They're going to be here in July in Mobile, the 25th through the 27th. And they're going to be here nationally for COGIC membership in August 21st through the 26th. And we're going to be doing, along with their conference, we're going to do some GOTV town halls where we're going to be asking all of the members of the Church of God in Christ to join with the communities here in Mobile, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama, to talk about these issues and to talk about what our strategy is going to be going back into their communities for these November 3rd midterms. We're going to be signing up, registering people to vote. We're going to have some of the organizations in that give second chances for people to get their voting rights restored that, may have had felonies and brothers that are getting out of the penal system. We're going to have Section 8 there and some of the folks that's there with food stamps and all the other different things that are being impacted by these laws that can sit down and talk to them and let them know, what the new laws are going to be and what they're going to need to do to take care of their families. So I'll send you that information, and I'd love for you to have that on your website. Mine is www.saluteselma.org. Again, that's www.saluteselma.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having us. And if you're ever in Miami, please find your way down to the studio. We'd love to have you.
It would be a pleasure, and I look forward.
Excellent.
Continue about what's going on here in Florida and across the country.
Amen. Thank you so much. God bless.
You too.
All right. So Teddy, thank you for that. It's always does my heart, well to speak to a sister that's in the battle. Like she says, they are super voters. Black women. I think they supported Kamala Harris 92%. And it wasn't enough. Our sisters work very, very hard and don't always get the credit, you know, that they deserve. And I don't think she did anything to convince Step at all to
Hey, what she was saying?
to regret his vote.
They're gonna cut housing. I said, "Oh, he don't care about that."
Yeah, he can't wait for that.
Exactly.
He can't wait for that to happen. Today, man, until we become like the road warriors and start seeing these tech communities start coming up, and folks just on the side of the road existing until they not. But
We didn't depend on daddy government though.
well, we shall see. We shall see, man. But of course, man, we got to talk about, you know, these New York Knickerbockers.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, 53 years, once again, champions. This is their third championship. Act like to them, they just won the championship of the world, for the world, forever.
Yeah.
And ever and ever.
New Yorkers,
You know,
man.
but like I said, I'm cool with them getting it. You know, 53 years, go ahead and get it. Think there'll be a little bit of humility there? No.
No, not for the summer.
Not at all.
Not for the summer. They're gonna strut. They're gonna strut.
You know what?
They're gonna
Alright.
strut hard.
Yeah.
You know, Jay-Z's gonna be doing concerts. Everybody's gonna use this as a point to springboard into something. You know what I mean? Because everything, and that's why New York had to win for the whole national element of NBA. Because if Wemby would have won, we already had my man, what's his name, Denver, the center over there for the past 3 years that was winning. Joker that was winning the MVP and all that, and they was creating that whole
making
international
NBA more
narrative.
international. And so now, coming off 50 years of hip hop,
Yeah.
you know, and hip hop, you know, being founded in New York,
New York, the number one market.
and the team, you must say, out of all the teams, they most reflected New York.
New York, a guard.
They got a
forward.
Puerto Rican,
Oh man.
a Dominican, somebody Jersey, somebody daddy played for the Knicks.
Yeah.
Like, come on, a
Everything-
Nigerian.
Everything was there.
What college team they playing?
Villanova.
What else located?
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And then, but the thing about it was when Trump came on Monday, everybody was so mad.
Bro, that's the only game they
That's
lost.
the only game
The
they
only
lost.
game they lost. He messed the whole vibe
whole
up.
thing up,
So
bro.
it's like you couldn't have done that any better. It's like Buddy came, and when Buddy came, everybody was mad that he came. All the block parties and watch parties that you had, they're like, we can't do it because all the streets for this one guy to come to the game,
Yeah.
and then he in there sleep.
Yeah.
I sent you the thing to Steph. I don't know if you have it.
Now him and Stephen A is like at it. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
he's got a low IQ.
Yeah.
And then Stephen, they had him on CNN on
Yeah,
Sunday.
but you know, Steve ain't gonna back down. He not gonna back down. And you know, it is what it is.
It just bring up his money more. That's all. Because now he's on another element going against Trump. That's why he said he's not going to leave to do that because it's going to take away from his money.
Yeah, nah, he just definitely ain't. You know, with that, nobody gonna pay Stephen A. to come in there, and whatever, because he is obnoxious. You know, but I definitely want to give a shout out to Jalen Brunson, man. Like somebody I never really paid attention to him.
He
Like,
made everybody
Even when they won national championships with Villanova, I didn't pay attention to him. And well, you know, learning his story now, bro, it's like when I'm on my timeline, my every story is about him right now. You know, and then you talking about you coupling his dad, and you see his story, and you see the old videos, which I sent. Step, I don't know, like we having technical difficulties because this whole screen is just, it's been blue the whole time. So I don't know if you watching it on the monitors. Okay, all right, cool. Long as it's there, man. But you see the work that he and his dad put in, bruh. You can't help but be inspired. You know, and the fact that, you know, his dad is like played for like 9 different teams.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, man," and I, you know where I know Brunson, where I know him from, bro.
Mhm.
I know Brunson from Temple, cause Brunson, I believe, went to Temple.
And then
The dad. Look it up. Because when he was at Temple, I believe he was playing with my man, Eddie Jones. You know, we was following Eddie Jones because he's from Pompano and he went to Ely.
Mhm.
So when he got when he went to Temple, you know, it's like that's the dude that plays with Eddie Jones. Yeah, he played college basketball for the Temple Owls, born in '72. So he was there with my man. So you know what I mean? I and his dad always been a hard-nosed dude, and you just see him with a team. But you know, we played for the Knicks when they was last in the finals. They lost, but he was there.
And they lost to San Antonio.
Yeah. Wow. And when and they lost, and the fact that when Jalen gives interviews, he gives his dad props.
Oh yeah.
He gives his mom props. You know, and you know, his parents are black in his life. Now he married a white girl, but I ain't mad at that because
That's just
it's the girl from high school.
Oh, okay. Still,
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
okay,
They
that's
go
still
back.
community.
That's his high school sweetheart.
That's good.
And when he went to college, she went to college and became and majored in physical therapy because they was already committed to each other. And she was like, "I'm going to do this so I can take care of you." You know what I mean? So I can take care of you.
He can take the bumps and
Bruh,
bruises.
you feel me? You can't, bruh. I ain't never mad at something like that. You with anybody from high
You just
school.
made me think. That's what I need to marry is a physical therapist.
You feel me?
That's what I need to find.
Man, come home once where you got oils and
All kind
and just
Let me try this on you.
just smoke and incense and you know what I mean. Just change the whole man. I played around with this lady in law school, bruh. I go to her spot, bruh. She always had a mood right. Where she had like candles and incense, man. You could be on something and go in there and the whole mood just
Change.
flip. You know what I mean? You know, not like on some Jeffrey Epstein stuff where they like, yo, I'm going to this man beautiful house. This man got massage tables in every room.
Get you right.
Say this dude got massage tables in every room.
So, you know, last Friday, Power Kanan came back out. And 50
The 50 character or the son?
50's
Or the one that's
50's
the
character.
guy that's playing with the mom,
Right.
Rocky.
Right.
I saw it.
Right.
I think I saw it where he and the mom went to the funeral because he shot the brother.
He shot Lou.
He shot his uncle.
Yes, that was just that. I mean, to start it off like that was just crazy. It started off like that. I couldn't even watch it till Sunday from watching on Friday that they killed Lou so fast. Like, that was just crazy.
Yeah, speaking of killing, this let's go right here, man. This guy right here. Well, we need to have that Lenny Williams playing right now in the background. But you ain't never been in love like this man been in love. This dude comes to the crib. Now, go ahead and play it. The man comes to the crib and is out there knocking on the door. Now, you see all the cars outside, so you know somebody in there. And ain't nobody gonna let you in. But you like, and Buddy got a restraining order against him. Right? So you coming in there, so the day.
That kind of look like you with the glasses.
Okay. So you say, but you know why it's not me? Because Buddy caught one in the head. And I'm talking to y'all right now. I'm looking at that.
So she shot him.
In the head. Shot him in the head, bruh. In the head. That's one of them things like, bro, what? Are you drunk? Like, what is it that will make you go in there and just put it all on the line
Yeah, what's gonna make
like
it
that?
go off?
And did he not know she had a gun?
Maybe he was sleeping.
Like,
Thought he was Superman.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, did he not know she had a
Some people
that she had a gun?
don't really think about, like the other day I saw this dude pull up at a he pulled into a handicap spot right where the police was right there next to him. Like, I'm like, oh, he gotta be just not paying attention. Cop just came right out. Can I get your license? I was like,
Bruh, that's crazy, man.
but I was
Yeah,
telling
this young man right here,
Oh, yeah.
from Florida Memorial,
Uh-huh.
Russ, say went on a boat ride, 23 years old. They just found him, washed up off Brickell. But if he chartered a boat, I'm like, where's the people that he was with? I don't think he took it,
right.
by itself. So I'll be curious to know what was up with that, man. But if you look at Play the Story, man, you'll see Aiken, Liverpool, man. Say his name. Aiken, Liverpool, 23 years old. Devastating. No audio.
There you go.
Man. Yeah, that's whole life ahead of him, bro. But just let you know, man. Try to treat every day like it's your last, cause one day it will be. One day it will be.
Let's talk about.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
Yeah, we was talking about that.
We was talking about this. That's why I sent it, because you was just talking about what Living Color did. So you wanna see that story just to confirm what Teddy was talking about. I try to be consistent, man. Whenever I see a point that you make, I try to come in there and be like,
documentation.
yeah,
Here it is.
here are the receipts.
I'm still trying to put it together how Living Color got to do it.
Let's go ahead and let it play. Let it play. Let it play. Let it play.
This
It's your boss at the NFL.
and this.
So that turned into
This.
Michael Jackson.
Picture this. It's the late 80s. You're watching the Super Bowl. The whistle blows for halftime. And instead of a celebrity, you get people in costumes prancing around to the marching band. That's fine for the college homecoming parade. But this is the biggest game on TV. Back then, people used halftime to refill their chips, use the bathroom, or maybe call their cousin. Nobody cared. But then came a little show called In Living Color. And let me tell you, it embarrassed the NFL so bad, it turned halftime into the show we love today.
I don't think so.
They dropped a live special episode right in the middle of halftime. They had the fly girls dancing, Color Me Bad singing, and hilarious sketches like Men on Football. They even put a countdown timer in the corner of the screen to let you know when halftime was over, so you won't miss the game.
I know what you guys are thinking. You were thinking, here, these bozos going to make us miss any part of the second half?
That's where this comes in. Our Super Bowl countdown clock. It'll be coming on later in the show to let you know when to switch back to the second half.
That episode of In Living Color pulled in over 20 million viewers during the Super Bowl halftime show.
Well, you got to get to the Wayans brothers. The Wayans brothers,
The network.
they don't get enough credit, bro.
That's it for everybody that they put on.
That was the wake-up call.
That was Saturday Night Live all over again.
So the very next year, they pulled out the big guns, the king of pop himself, Mike Jackson. And when Big Mike hit the stage, ratings actually went up during the halftime show for the first time ever. Over 133 million people tuned in. From that moment on, halftime was no longer snack time, it was showtime. And since then, we've had so many legendary halftime performances like Prince doing a whole concert in Blank, or Janet Jackson jaw-dropping performance.
Oh! You're welcome!
Thought-provoking said,
That was
all
nice.
that showmanship, that spark, it all traces back to a living color. A comedy show that dared to outshine the NFL. And in doing so, they forced the league to turn halftime into the cultural event it is now. Well, the next time you're screaming at your TV during halftime, just remember, you got to thank the living color. They made the NFL.
And you know, the boys is back with Scary Movie. Yeah, with Scary Movie, and they got.
last night.
Was it good?
It was a scary movie.
Okay. I wait for it. I wait for it to come on. I wait for it to come on premium. Then
It ain't too much.
and then it's
Expectations.
yeah. Okay. Is it like Jackass? Because you see Jackass is coming out.
Yeah, Jackass coming out too.
They got their
I
hype.
think Jackass probably get better.
Because it's supposed to be like the final one ever.
The preview for Jackass looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, go. Well, yeah, right here, man. So, you know, you play this story right here, bro. This the tight end lost his wife.
Star tight end and his wife Susie have gotten divorced, and Susie went public with her new romance yesterday. That's her lip locking with Hollis Thomas. Now, Hollis Thomas is also a former Philadelphia Eagle, Susie Selleck. Now, I don't know what happened while they were married. It's none of my business. And they are divorced. But if you really want to rub it into an ex-husband, you go public tugging a former teammate of your ex-husband. That's taking it right there, man. There's a guy code I live my life by. There are certain women you can't have sex with. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And there's got to be a code. I know there's not, but there should be a code amongst NFL players that played for the same team, even if not at the same time.
Oh, come on. That's a little good too far.
The guy's ex-wife. And clearly, he's banging her. So Brent Selleck, the Eagles.
Well, we just let it speak for itself, or we like to comment.
I mean, you know, if y'all ain't play together.
Especially if, like he said, he went too far talking about even trying to play at the same time. Okay, if you play at the same time, I can see.
Yeah, they never teammates.
Right.
They ain't teammates.
You're not teammates, and nothing, it's fair game. Ask Chris Brown and Deion Sanders.
Right.
With Carusi. Look how many people's had her between them two.
Man, I know he mad.
Yo, let's see the story since we are in the World Cup. This is the Japanese goaltender. Let's see his story, y'all.
Japanese? Okay.
Yeah. Born in
Jersey.
yeah, it going.
Woke up and wondering, wait, who's that goalkeeper? You're not alone. Meet Zion Suzuki, one of the tournament's most talked about stars. Suzuki was born in Newark, New Jersey, to a Ghanaian father and a Japanese mother before being raised in Japan. That meant he was eligible to represent multiple countries, including the United States. Instead, he chose Japan and has worn the country's colors since his teenage years. His club career has taken him from Japan to Belgium and now to Italy, where he plays for Parma. His journey hasn't always been easy, though. During the 2024 Asian Cup, Suzuki was subjected to racist abuse online after a loss. He later said criticism of his play was fair, but comments about his race were not. Now he's Japan's starting goalkeeper at the World Cup and one of the faces of the new generation of the Samurai Group. Did you know Japan's starting goalkeeper was born in New Jersey? If you've been watching Japan at the World
So you been catching any of the games?
Not really.
So I want to give a shout out to Ajibola for the U.S. team. First one, he scored the 2 goals. First time U.S. team has scored 2 goals, in the game. And his cousin is the city manager, Ajibola, for West Park. Former city manager for North Miami as well. I was with him this past Saturday. So everybody, of course, Ajibola, that's your people. He's like, I told him everything he knew. Good Nigerian brothers. So, hey, I can't do it. I can't do it.